Okay, so the fours, I moved the fours and the threes out of the way, and we zoomed out a little bit, so hopefully we have enough room to put them all together. In fact, I'm going to separate out the 8 so that there's 4 on each side.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so which one do you think this one corresponds to, of the 4s and the 3s?
It has to correspond, well, you can't see it, but it's the one that has all 4s. That all the 4 that has all of them vertical.
Okay. So these two match up with each other, is what you're saying. And what's the matchup?
Well, that you can take off this.
Okay.
Or you can take off that.
Ah, okay. So
Both
there's two ways of matching up. How do you think we need to deal with that?
Well, if one way seems to work better with some of them, the majority of them, then we'll do that.
Okay. So what does that mean you're going to do?
Well, we have to kind of wait and see
Okay.
where we have to remove them.
All right. Well, decide. Pick a matchup. Pick a way to match it up now. Okay.
Try that.
All right. All right.
So then, this one here.
Okay.
Well, are we just looking at the 4s right now?
You can look at any ones you want.
Because this one, well, I think to do it systematically, I'm going to look at the 4s first.
The 4s. Okay. So tell you what. I'll bring a 4 down here. All right. That's fine to do it systematically. Which one do you think this 4 here corresponds to?
I think it corresponds to this piece
But
over there.
it could also correspond to this one.
Okay. And how then do we make the correspondence the same as what we've chosen here?
We have to remove the one on the end, so that,
Okay.
so it will correspond.
All
Because
right.
you can't remove that.
All right. So here's the next one.
You have to remove the end piece and
So that's not that one.
ooh, it's this way, I think, right here.
Yeah.
So remove this and right there.
You can put that in. How about this one now?
It would be here.
Okay. Now we have this one.
That's here.
All right. And now we're just left with the 3s. So how are we going to find out what this one corresponds to?
Well,
We have to remove 2 of them.
but it could correspond. Oh, actually, it could correspond to any of these 3.
Well, but
Because
with our pattern, we have to remove the end.
you could do this, or that.
Okay. What do you think the right one to do is?
I think we have to remove. We have to remove the one on the end
Okay. Why?
because that kind of goes with our pattern from before. We have to.
Okay.
Right.
The pattern before was removing the ones on the end, but this time you're removing these 2 on the end.
Oh,
And
that kind of goes with this here.
Remove those 2.
and then we have to. This one. Remove the end.
Okay.
So those do correspond.
So we actually have found a correspondence for the way the 2x5s are made up of the 2x4s and the 2x3s. And so how would you describe this correspondence?
So for the 2x4s, to turn them into 2x5s, you have to add one piece onto the right side. Then for the 2x3s to turn into the 2x5s, you need to add 2 horizontal pieces on the right side.
Interesting.
Cool.
So the 2x5s came from the 2x4s where you add a piece, a vertical piece.
Yeah.
And the 2x3s where you add a horizontal piece. Now, why did you have to add horizontal instead of vertical?
Well, you didn't, because there were a couple ways to do this. So this one, for example, we could have had be one of the 3s, like that. But then I'm not sure that we could have found, oh no, this wouldn't have matched up though.
Okay.
So I guess it did have to be horizontal.
Alright, but why?
So, the only way it would have worked, you can see it with this one.
Mm-hmm.
We have the 3 straight, and the only one over here is the 3 straight and 2 horizontal at the end.
Right.
So that kind of has to work.
It does have to work. So the way we did it definitely worked, but what was wrong with, what if we would have added them like that?
Well,
We would have
that's a
matched.
repeat.
It would have matched another one.
It would have been a repeat. And so what about this pattern makes it repeat one we've already counted?
Well, because the 4s and the 3s are also related in the same way that the 5s and the 4s are related.
Explain a little more what you mean?
So I think you can make at least some of the 4s by adding one vertical piece onto 3s.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
So, because it's the pattern would carry down
All right.
as well.
Okay. Well, another way to think about it is that if we add them vertically like this, I've already counted that. See, that comes from this one removing 1, and that's what we have over there. I've already counted that one. Because if I put them on vertically, it has a one vertical tile at the end. And we've already done the ones that have one vertical tile at the end, right? So in order for it to be new,
We have to.
it has to have horizontal tiles. And
Interesting.
it ends up, it just works out. Now, do you think this pattern's going to work out in general?
Well,
It should.
yeah, because, well,
If I add 2 horizontals to the n minus 2 ones, do I ever get something with a vertical plus an n minus 1?
No.
Why?
Because the horizontal, because you're removing the piece from, or adding the piece, depending how you want to think about it, from the same end.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't turn horizontal into vertical by adding it.
Okay. Oh, maybe this works. Maybe this is the sketch of the proof of why we see the Fibonacci numbers here. We haven't done the complete proof because there could still be an extra 1. Okay? And that we haven't counted. But at least we're getting a sketch of the idea of the surprising fact that the Fibonacci numbers showed up.
they show up in a lot of odd places.
They show up in a lot of odd places. So what I want you to do with the camera off, and we'll just take a picture of it, is let's go back to the 5x5s here. Or the 2x5s, I mean. So here's our 5s, and then here's our 4s. And I want you to make all of the 2x6s now.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.